Sometimes movies flop for a reason. Not every film can be a hit, and a few really earn their box office bomb status. Here are 14 movie flops that absolutely deserve their spot in the Flop Hall of Fame. First up, Battlefield Earth, a sci-fi train wreck adapted from L. Ron Hubbard's novel. John Travolta stars in this epic fail about humans in the year 3000 battling alien overlords. With hammy performances, a script that's more comedy than drama, and bizarre camera angles, it earned a dismal 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. Costing $73 million to make but grossing just $29 million, it's a masterclass in how not to make a movie. The final nail in the X-Men franchise's coffin, Dark Phoenix, tried to adapt the iconic storyline but fell flat. Jean Grey's struggle with her powers lacked depth, and the plot was a muddled mess. Critics trashed it, giving it a mere 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite a $200 million budget, it barely recouped costs, grossing $252.4 million worldwide. Cats, the infamous musical adaptation, was intended to be a holiday hit, but ended up a nightmare. Audiences found the CGI-enhanced cat humans downright creepy. The plot was incoherent, earning it a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes. Costing $95 million to produce, it clawed back only $73.5 million, solidifying its place as a cult so-bad-it's-good film. Robert Downey Jr.'s first post-Marvel movie, Doolittle, was a misadventure. The plot about a quest to find a healing tree was weak, and the humor missed the mark. Critics gave it a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. With a $175 million budget, it grossed $250 million worldwide, but was still considered a financial flop after marketing costs. The highly anticipated Wonder Woman 1984 left fans divided. Diana Prince's new adventure was bogged down by a convoluted plot and weak character motivations. It earned a lukewarm 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite a $200 million budget, it grossed only $166.5 million, a far cry from its predecessor's success. Eddie Murphy's sci-fi comedy disaster, The Adventures of Pluto Nash, was set on the moon and aimed for laughs but delivered cringes. The thin plot and lackluster script earned it a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. With a $100 million budget, it made a paltry $7.1 million, becoming one of the biggest flops in history. Giggle, starring Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, is notorious for all the wrong reasons. The story of a mobster and a lesbian assassin was plagued by poor dialogue and lackluster performances. Critics panned it, and it became a staple on worst films lists. Costing $75.6 million, it scraped together only $7.2 million worldwide. Johnny Depp as Tonto and Armie Hammer as the title character couldn't save The Lone Ranger. The plot was a confusing mix of themes and timelines. Critics and audiences agreed it was a mess, and despite a $215 million budget, it grossed $260.5 million worldwide, resulting in a significant loss after marketing costs. Halle Berry's Catwoman is a textbook example of how not to do a superhero movie. Straying far from the source material, Berry's character had a lackluster plot and over-reliance on CGI. It earned a dismal 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. The $100 million film only clawed in $82 million worldwide, making it one of the worst superhero movies ever made. Ryan Reynolds couldn't save Green Lantern from its fate. The clashing tones, too many villains, and overuse of CGI led to a weak storyline. It earned a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. With a $200 million budget, it only made $219 million globally, a significant loss after marketing costs. Disney's John Carter was a gamble that didn't pay off. Despite impressive visuals, the convoluted plot and lack of character development earned it a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. With a $263.7 million budget, it grossed $284 million worldwide, marking a significant financial loss. Mars Needs Moms should have been a fun animated romp, but fell flat. The predictable plot and shallow characters earned it a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. Costing $150 million, it only garnered $39 million worldwide, proving audiences didn't need Mars Needs Moms. The 2015 reboot of Fantastic Four was darker and more serious, but ultimately underwhelming. With an underdeveloped plot and lack of action, it earned a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. The $120 million film grossed $167.9 million worldwide, leading to scrapped sequel plans. The Emoji Movie is as hollow as it sounds. The plot about an emoji named Jean failed to impress, earning a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite a $50 million budget, it grossed $217 million worldwide, but its critical failure and audience backlash make it a prime example of a concept gone awry.